All right, guys, we finally got our brakes in for the wife's 2013 LR4. So you can see we got rear rotors. These are the same ones we've been using. They're coated for anti-corrosion. Same for the front. And then we got some extreme toe. I like these brake pads. They don't last super long, but they don't tear up your rotor either. So we got that front and rear brake cleaner. We got some brake fluid because I'm gonna flush the brake system as well. And then the only thing we're waiting on, supposed to show up tomorrow, are the wear sensors. So once we're gonna try to get started tonight, and then see what we can get done. And then tomorrow we just got to slap on the wear sensors and the brakes will be good. So, all right, we're gonna get to it. Get this thing up on jack stands and break the wheels loose.
Rolling on there.
All right, guys, Luke and Jenna's been working hard. They got all the wheels pulled off on this Land Rover. Getting ready to do the brakes. I got them the tools ready. So on these brakes, you got a number 13 here, and then you got to hold it here with the number 17. I just took one of my old, just a generic brand, I think it's Cobalt, and I grinded the head down so it's a little extra slim. You can see how it just slides right on. A standard wrench sometimes is too thick to fit in there, so yeah. Just took a little grinder. This one I got a bunch of different generic tools, so I usually use those to grind them up and make them work. Threw some WD-40 just in the top 3 of these holes and along the top of here, just to help kind of start releasing it in case there's any corrosion. When this makes it easier for this to slide off, but they'll take this bolt off, that one right there, and then that should allow us to pull the calipers out. We'll set them out of the way so there's no tension. If we need to, we'll get some zip ties to hold them up, and then we'll take this Torx bit here out, which is a T50. So we got it in the drill ready to go. We'll take that out, and then our rotor should come out. All right, I'm gonna let them get back to work. So pull down with this hand. There you go. I can look for a ratchet wrench.
Seriously. That's a cool shot, right, Dad?
So, gonna make the audience dizzy.
Done.
Okay, so then this allows you to carefully work this out. Okay. Now you don't want to let this hang. Okay, so we'll set it somewhere where it doesn't go. Okay. Okay. Nope, that'll stay there until we do have to pull these off. All right, so Jenna's got the caliper out of the way. She's pulling the brake pads out. She's pretty quick. So these still have life on them. They're pretty hard, very glossed over, so it doesn't feel like it's really doing much. And the rotor's pretty. Okay, so we'll get a screwdriver. We'll pop these clips out right there, and then there's take that bolt out and that bolt out. We'll get you the size, and that will let us take that caliper bracket off, and then we'll get the rotor off. All right, guys, we got the old and the new. I'm just gonna see what the wear is. So we're at 0.749. It's 0.75. And bring it over here. We're at 0.790. So about 4 thousandths wore down. You can see there's a groove here and here. It should be nice and flush on both edges. So yeah, they definitely need to be replaced. We're gonna get the new ones on there. All right, Jenna's just putting that bolt in that holds the rotor on. And we'll get some new pads on there. All right, we got the caliper bracket on there. Now we're going to slide our brake pads on, our new pads, and then we'll mount the caliper. Oh, pull up. Just pulling off that caliper bracket, and then we'll pull the rotor off and we'll swap it out. This all goes fairly quick. This side does have the wear pad, brake wear pad sensor, or brake pad wear sensor. So we'll swap that out as well. Don't know if you can reuse them. You should, if you're careful and they don't break or get damaged. But we're gonna put new ones in just so we know it's all good to go. Jenna's moving right along. She's already got the new rotor on the other side. So we'll get everything mounted up. All right, she's already got this other rear brake knocked out. She replaced that wear pad sensor. I think we could reuse the old one, so I'm gonna keep it as a spare. She's already back here up front working on the passenger, so. All right, Jenna's just finishing up this last one. Tighten down the brake caliper bolts. See, we've got a new rotor. New pads are in there. We just gotta replace this wear sensor wire, so we'll do that after she gets this tightened down. We did put Loctite on on all our bolts, so we're good there. All right, so now we're gonna get ready to replace the tie rod ends. So as you remember, when we did the inspection, driver's side inner tie rod was worn out, had a little play in it. So before I put new tires on, I wanna make sure that's all tight, and then we'll get an alignment done. Or actually do our own alignment. So today, just went ahead and ordered 2 kits. So it comes with everything I need to do the inner and outer tie rods. Each kit. This is, I gotta put that on as well. So we got 2 kits, comes with everything you need, a new boot, outer tie rod, your nut, and your boot clamps, zip ties. So yeah, be straightforward. We'll get this installed and ready to go. All right, sprayed the tie rod in with some WD-40. While we're in here, I'm gonna be replacing this fender liner. Got that one right there that I pulled off our parts one. This was trimmed out for an off-road bumper, so we'll replace it with the right one, and then we'll figure out where that's supposed to plug into and get it all tied up. And then while I got it apart, because the front wear sensor goes up and actually clips onto a clip that should be on the top side of the fender liner, wheel well liner, we'll swap it out when we get in there. All right, so I'm gonna got the mud flap off. We're gonna take all the pins out, and then we'll get this thing swapped out. All right, so I got the wheel liner out. So this extra cord just plugged right into here. I'm gonna test this to make sure it works. And then your brake wear sensor, that's this one right here. This thing follows up through here, comes up and connects right here. So that's where it's kind of tricky to get to. So we'll unplug it. But that's it right here. We'll disconnect it. You can see how it's kind of challenging to get to with the wheel liner out or in. But yeah, let me get this swapped out, and then we'll probably before I put the wheel liner on, I'm going to go ahead and we got to pull these little covers off. Makes it easier to get to your tie rod inner rack and pinion area. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, so we're replacing the tie rods. I'm not going real in depth on this. It's pretty straightforward with these LR3s, LR4s, and I'm sure the Range Rover's similar. So we pre-assembled it. This, double check the length here. The tie rods, they're the same. This is a TRW as well, just like this one, but the casting's different. You can see a lot smaller. So, so we made sure this was the same length. Set the thread depth using our micrometer to the same, and then I just double checked the length from end to end, and they're the same. So we don't put the boot all the way on yet. What you'll do, you put a little bit. I'll put a little bit of blue Loctite on this end. It calls for Loctite, so we'll thread that in, tighten it down, set that end, and then we'll put these. The little one's just a squeeze clamp type. This one a little different. If you notice, there's a little pin there. So when you feed it around, get it into place, you just take a pair of pliers and sink that pin in, and it'll lock it in where you need it to be. So otherwise this thing just slides in and out. But that's about it. Pretty straightforward, nice and easy. We'll get this one installed and the steering should be done. We'll put all the covers on. There's a couple plastic covers you got to pull off to get access to this. And then what else we got to do, Luke? All right, so we got all the brake pads and rotors replaced. Went ahead and replaced the tie rod ends, inner and outer on both sides, so we're good to go. The next thing I want to do is flush the brake fluid. Now, typically they say, I think roughly around 2 or 3 years, every 2 or 3 years, you're supposed to replace your brake fluid. It's not something that gets done. So if you're looking at this, once I get some pumped out, I'll let you see what it looks like. But they do make some little testers you can put in there, and it'll check the water content. And that's the biggest thing. And then brake fluid just gets corrosive, starts damaging your brake lines. So I want to get that stuff out of there. What I'm going to be doing, I'll use this hand vacuum pump. Would suck out as much of the old brake fluid as I can, fill it with new, and then I'll use my scan tool to do a brake bleed process. And during that brake bleed process, I can finish flushing the old brake fluid out of the system. But I'm not going to record it just because I don't have a third person to record while we do it. And you kind of need that. You need at least 2 people to do the process. One's running the scan tool and pumping the brake, and the other one's bleeding the calipers as commanded by the scan tool. So I'll do a separate video just on doing that and post that here in the near future. But let me get this brake flush finished up. All right, so here is the old brake fluid. This is a clean jar. You can see the coloration. And if you look at that, it's nice and clear. It's filled all the way to the top. So kind of shows you. Now we're gonna start drawing it through. All right, so we got the brakes bled and we got all the old fluid out of the line. So we are good to go. It's nice and clear to every brake. So we just got to, well, we've got the wheel liner back on, and then we just got to throw the wheels on and take it for a test drive and do a break-in on the brakes. So this is the break-in procedure for the brakes that they want you to do. So they want you just to do 5 aggressive decelerations from 40 to 10, and then 5 moderate decelerations, 35 to 5, then drive slowly, cool down for 5 minutes. So pretty straightforward, but they said it's important to bed those brakes and rotors in. So we're gonna do that, and then that'll be it for that. The next thing we're gonna do is pull it in and do a DIY alignment. Since we changed the tie rods and want to check everything out, we're going to be putting new tires on it. Make sure it's all aligned. But to do that, before we do that, we got to do a suspension calibration. So I'll do a separate video on those 2 things. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.